The Minnesota night of May 14, 2008, is a velvet shroud, its stars swallowed by clouds that press low over endless fields of corn and soybean. A single headlight flickers on a gravel road near Marshall, casting a frail beam into the dark. Brandon Swanson, 19, a college freshman with a quick laugh and dreams of fixing cars, is behind the wheel, his Hyundai Camry stuck in a ditch. He calls his parents, his voice steady but edged with frustration, asking for a ride. They set out, headlights cutting through the fog, but the roads twist like veins, leading nowhere. At 2 a.m., Brandon's phone crackles with his last words, "Oh, shit," before the line goes dead. The fields fall silent, the night closes like a fist, and Brandon vanishes, leaving no footprints, no trace, only a void that screams louder than any cry. Was he swallowed by the land, taken by a stranger, or lost to something darker? The Minnesota prairie holds its breath, and the mystery whispers on. This is Shadow of Crime, where the ordinary fractures into the unknown, and mysteries claw at the edges of reason. Tonight, we walk the gravel roads of Marshall, chasing a young man whose last call echoes through the years, a riddle that haunts the heartland. The night is waiting. Will you follow its call? Part 1. Marshall, 2008, a heartland haven. In the spring of 2008, Marshall, Minnesota, is a quiet pulse in the vast prairie, a town of 13,000 souls nestled in Lyon County, where the Redwood River snakes through fields of corn and soybean that stretch to the horizon. Main Street hums with small-town life. The Schwann's ice cream factory churns out treats. The Lyon County Fairgrounds buzz with 4-H kids and tractor pulls. And the local diner, the Wooden Spoon, serves pancakes and gossip under fluorescent lights that never flicker. Clapboard homes line quiet avenues, their lawns dotted with trampolines and American flags, while grain elevators loom like silent giants, their shadows long in the golden light of dawn. Southwest Minnesota State University, a cluster of brick buildings, draws students like Brandon Swanson, a 19-year-old freshman with a mop of sandy hair, blue eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses, and a passion for mechanics. Yet, beneath this idyllic heartland sheen, the land carries a quiet menace. The prairie is vast, unrelenting, its flatness a canvas for howling winds that sweep through, bending cornstalks and rattling windows. Rural roads, often gravel and unmarked, twist like forgotten promises, their edges crumbling into ditches that swallow tires in the dark. Cell service is a fickle prayer, its signal fading where fields meet sky. May nights are chilly, dipping to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and budding crops. Marshall, with its close-knit warmth, feels safe, but the prairie beyond is indifferent, its silence a weight that presses against those who stray too far. Brandon, a Canby native 20 miles away, is finishing his first year at Minnesota West Community and Technical College in Canby, his eyes on a career fixing cars or maybe engineering wind turbines. On May 13th, he celebrates the end of classes with friends, first in Marshall, then in Lind, a speck of a town nearby. He's a good kid, 6 feet tall, lean, with a laugh that fills rooms and a habit of helping neighbors shovel snow. His parents, Brian and Annette, run a farm supply store in Canby, their home a hub of family dinners and Brandon's tinkering in the garage. That night, Brandon drives his green 2000 Hyundai Camry, its odometer ticking past 100,000 miles, unaware that the prairie is about to claim him. The roads, the fields, the night. They're a stage set for a mystery that will shatter a family and haunt a town. Their silence a prelude to a scream that never comes. Part 2. The night's first fracture. Picture the Minnesota prairie at midnight, May 14, 2008. A sea of black under a sky heavy with clouds, the air cool and damp, carrying the scent of wet soil and budding corn. Brandon Swanson, 19, is driving home to Canby, his Hyundai Camry's headlights slicing through the dark on Highway 68, a narrow ribbon of asphalt flanked by fields. He's been celebrating drinks with friends in Marshall, then a stop in Lind, a tiny hamlet 10 miles away. His blood alcohol level, later estimated, is likely just above legal, but he's alert, his voice steady when he calls his parents at 1:54 a.m. "I'm in a ditch," he says, frustration lacing his words. "Near Lind. Can you pick me up?" Brian and Annette Swanson, roused from sleep, grab their keys, their pickup's headlights cutting through the fog as they head toward Lind, 30 miles from Canby. Brandon describes his location, a gravel road, fields on both sides, the lights of Marshall faint in the distance. But the roads are a maze, unmarked, crisscrossing the prairie like veins, their gravel crunching under tires, their ditches hidden in the dark. Brian and Annette drive, their phone pressed to their ear, Brandon's voice guiding them. "I see your lights," he says. Then, "No, that's not you." They flash their headlights, honk, but find no sign of him. The prairie plays tricks, its flatness distorting distance, its silence swallowing sound. At 2 a.m., Brandon decides to walk, his phone still connected to his parents. "I'm heading toward Lind," he says, describing fence lines, a gravel path, the rustle of cornstalks. He's calm, joking about the cold, his sneakers crunching gravel, his breath a faint rhythm on the line. Brian and Annette, frantic, drive parallel roads, their eyes scanning for a figure in the dark. At 2:47 a.m., the call crackles, Brandon says. "Oh, shit," his voice sharp with surprise. The line goes dead. Annette redials, but it's voicemail, the prairie's silence a wall that blocks her son. The night closes like a fist, and Brandon vanishes, his last words a riddle that echoes through the fields, a scream that never reaches the stars. Part 3. Dawn's empty search. The sun rises over Marshall at 5:30 a.m., May 14, 2008. It's light, weak, and gray, casting long shadows across the prairie. Brian and Annette Swanson, their eyes bloodshot from a sleepless night, stand on a gravel road near Lind, their pickup idling, their hearts pounding with dread. Brandon's call ended hours ago, his "oh, shit," a knife that twists in their minds. They've driven every road, honked, shouted his name into the fields, but the prairie is silent, its cornstalk swaying in a breeze that carries no answers. At 6:30 a.m., they call the Lyon County Sheriff's Office, their voices breaking as they report their son missing. Sheriff Jack Vizecki, a weathered man with 20 years on the job, dispatches deputies, their cruisers kicking up dust on Highway 68. They find Brandon's Hyundai Camry at 7:15 a.m., not near Lind, but 25 miles away, in a ditch off a gravel road in Porter, Lincoln County, near the Minnesota-South Dakota border. The car is stuck, its front wheels buried in mud, its driver's door ajar, keys in the ignition, glasses and wallet inside. No blood, no struggle, no footprints in the soft earth. The deputies, their boots sinking in the ditch, radio Vizecki, who arrives with a sinking gut. Brandon's phone call placed him near Lind, but his car is here, a discrepancy that cracks the case wide open. The search begins, deputies fanning out across the fields, their radios crackling, their eyes scanning for a figure in the corn. Volunteers from Marshall, farmers, teachers, Brandon's friends, join, their boots crunching gravel, their voices calling Brandon into the wind. Dogs sniff the car, catching no scent beyond the ditch. A helicopter from the state patrol buzzes overhead, its blades a dull throb, its spotlight sweeping the prairie. Cell tower pings trace Brandon's call to a tower near Taunton, 10 miles from Porter, suggesting he walked east, not toward Lind. The fields, vast and unbroken, offer no clues, no clothing, no phone, no body. The prairie, with its ditches and culverts, is a labyrinth, its silence a taunt that mocks the searcher's hope. By dusk, the effort stalls, the deputies exhausted, the Swansons shattered, the mystery a shadow that grows with the fading light. Part 4. The last call's echoes. Brandon's final phone call, cut off at 2:47 a.m., is the heart of the mystery, a 47-minute lifeline that ended with, "Oh, shit," in silence. Sheriff Vizecki, his office cluttered with maps and coffee cups, dissects the call, his deputies poring over cell records, their fingers tracing tower pings. The call began near Porter, where Brandon's car was found, but pings suggest he walked east toward Taunton, not Lind, covering perhaps 3 to 5 miles in 47 minutes. The prairie's flatness distorts perception. Lights from Marshall, 20 miles away, seem closer, tricking Brandon into thinking he was near Lind. Brian and Annette, their faces etched with grief, replay the call in their minds, each word a shard. Brandon's calm, his jokes about the cold, his description of fence lines, gravel, a weird sound like water or wind. The "oh, shit" was sharp, not panicked, suggesting surprise, a stumble, a light, a figure in the dark. The line stayed open for seconds before cutting off. No splash, no scream, only silence. Vizecki, his voice gruff, questions the Swansons. Did Brandon sound drunk? Scared? They insist he was lucid, his voice steady, his humor intact. Investigators traced the call's path. Deputies walking gravel roads from Porter to Taunton, their flashlights catching nothing but corn and shadows. The Yellow Medicine River, a sluggish stream near Taunton, draws focus. Its banks muddy, its current slow but deep in spots. Divers search, their lights piercing the murk, finding no phone, no body, only driftwood and silt. Dogs, trained for cadaver scent, sniff the riverbank, their noses low, but find nothing. The call's end, a sudden void, suggests accident, a fall into water, a ditch, a culvert, or foul play, a stranger in the night. The prairie, with its endless fields and hidden hazards, holds the answer, its silence a wall that blocks the truth. Part 5. The Prairie's Secrets. The Minnesota prairie is a character in Brandon's Disappearance, its vastness a canvas for theories, its silence a keeper of secrets. By May 15, 2008, the search expands, covering 100 square miles across Lyon, Lincoln, and Yellow Medicine counties. Sheriff Wyzecki, his badge glinting under fluorescent lights, coordinates with the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, BCA, their agents bringing thermal drones and sonar boats. The landscape is unforgiving. Fields of corn and soybean, knee-high in May, hide ditches and culverts, their edges soft with mud. The Yellow Medicine River, its banks tangled with willows, winds through the search area, its current a slow pull that could carry a body miles downstream. Volunteers, now numbering 200, comb the fields, their boots sinking in the loam, their voices hoarse from calling Brandon's name. Farmers lend ATVs, their engines growling as they navigate fence lines. The helicopter, its blades a steady throb, sweeps low, its pilot spotting nothing but deer and shadows. Bloodhounds, brought from St. Paul, sniff Brandon's jacket, their noses tracing a faint trail east from the car, fading near a gravel road. The BCA analyzes Brandon's phone, its battery dead by 3 a.m., its last ping near a tower in Taunton. No texts, no calls after 2:47 a.m., only silence. The prairie's hazards loom large. Hypothermia, with nighttime temps at 40 degrees Fahrenheit, could incapacitate a lightly dressed Brandon. Ditches, some 6 feet deep, hide under grass, their bottoms slick with mud. Culverts, concrete tunnels under roads, could trap a body, their openings choked with debris. The river, though shallow, has deep pools, its current strong enough to move a man. Wyzecki, his map marked with red pins, orders searches of abandoned barns, silos, even manure pits, their stench a grim reminder of the land's indifference. No trace emerges, no sneaker, no phone, no shred of Brandon's blue jacket. The prairie, with its endless fields and hidden traps, is a labyrinth, its silence a taunt that mocks the searcher's hope. Part 6. Theories in the Dark. By June 2008, the search for Brandon Swanson stalls, its leads exhausted, its volunteers dwindling. Sheriff Wyzecki, his office a fortress of files, grapples with theories, each a thread in a tapestry of doubt. The simplest, accident. Brandon, disoriented by alcohol and the prairie's flatness, fell into a ditch, a culvert, or the Yellow Medicine River, his body swept away or hidden in mud. The call's "oh shit" suggests a stumble, a splash, a moment of surprise. Hypothermia, with May nights at 40 degrees Fahrenheit, could have claimed him, his body missed in the vast fields. Foul play is another shadow. The prairie, though empty, is not lifeless. Truckers on Highway 68, farmers checking fields, poachers in the night. Could Brandon, walking alone, have met a stranger? A car idling on a gravel road, its driver offering a ride. Or worse, the call's abrupt end, with no struggle heard, argues against violence, but a quick act, a strike, a shove, could silence him. Wyzecki, his deputies interviewing locals, finds no suspects, no witnesses, only rumors, a drifter at a gas station, a fight at a bar. Brandon's friends, questioned in Marshall, describe a happy kid, no enemies, no debts, no reason to run. A third theory, voluntary disappearance, flickers but fades. Brandon's life was stable, good grades, a job lined up, a girlfriend he adored. His wallet, glasses, and keys, left in the car, argue against flight. The Swansons, their faces etched with grief, reject this, their faith in Brandon's love for home unshakable. The prairie, with its ditches, rivers, and fields, is the likeliest culprit, but its silence offers no proof, only questions that pile like stones on a grave. Part 7. The Searcher's Vigil. The summer of 2008 sees the search for Brandon Swanson become a ritual, a vigil that binds Marshall's community even as it frays their hope. Brian and Annette Swanson, their farm supply store now a hub for volunteers, lead daily searches, their pickup a beacon on gravel roads. They walk fields, their boots caked with mud, their voices hoarse from calling Brandon's name, their eyes scanning for a glint of blue, his jacket, his phone, his life. Volunteers, from farmers to college kids, join, their ATVs growling, their hands blistered from fence wire. Sheriff Vyzecki, his badge await, expands the effort, calling in the National Guard, their boots a steady march through corn. Sonar boats scan the Yellow Medicine River, their screens blank, their operators grim. Cadaver dogs, their noses low, sniff banks and ditches, finding nothing but deer bones. Thermal drones, their cameras whirring, capture fields at dusk, their images empty of life. The BCA, their agents in windbreakers, analyze Brandon's car, finding no fingerprints but his, no blood, no sign of struggle. Cell records, poured over in St. Paul, confirm the Taunton ping, but the phone, a Nokia, is gone, its signal dead. The Swansons, their home a shrine of maps and missing posters, cling to hope, their faith a candle against the prairie's dark. They post flyers in Marshall, Canby, even Sioux Falls, Brandon's face, smiling, glasses glinting, staring from telephone poles. Tips flood in, a sneaker in a field, a figure in a bar, a phone in a ditch. Each is chased, each a dead end, their truth as fleeting as the morning mist. The search, now covering 120 square miles, is a testament to love, but the prairie's silence is a wall, its secrets locked in its endless fields. Part 8. The River's Whisper. The Yellow Medicine River, a sluggish stream winding through Lyon and Yellow Medicine counties, becomes the search's dark heart by fall 2008. Its banks, tangled with willows and cattails, hide muddy slopes, its current slow but deep in spots, its waters murky with silt. Sheriff Vyzecki, his map marked with blue lines, orders divers from Minneapolis, their wetsuits gleaming, their lights piercing the murk. They search pools near Taunton, where Brandon's call pinged, finding driftwood, tires, but no body, no phone. Cadaver dogs, their handlers grim, sniff the riverbank, their noses catching nothing but the scent of decay from fish and leaves. Sonar boats, their screens flickering, scan downstream, their operators noting snags that could trap a body. The river, though shallow, 3 feet in most places, has pools 10 feet deep, its current strong enough to move a man. Brandon, if he fell, could have been swept miles, his body caught in roots or buried in silt. Vyzecki, his deputies wading culverts, considers the call's end. Oh, shit, followed by silence, no splash, no cry. Could Brandon have slipped, his phone lost in the water, his body carried away? The river's banks, searched daily, yield no footprints, no torn clothing, only the whisper of water that mocks the searcher's hope. The Swansons, their faces gaunt, walk the banks, their hands clutching Brandon's photo, their prayers a plea to a river that gives nothing back. The prairie, with its fields and streams, is a labyrinth, its silence a riddle that deepens with every empty dive. Part 9. The Stranger in the Night. Foul play, a shadow that haunts the case, gains traction by 2009, its questions sharper as the search yields nothing. Sheriff Vyzecki, his office a fortress of files, considers the prairie's human element. Truckers on Highway 68, farmers checking fields, drifters passing through. Could Brandon, walking alone at 2 a.m., have met a stranger? A car idling on a gravel road, its driver offering a ride, or worse. The call's abrupt end, with no struggle heard, argues against violence, but a quick act, a strike, a shove could silence him in seconds. Deputies interview locals, their notebooks filling with names, a gas station clerk who saw a young man in Marshall, a farmer who heard a car at 3 a.m., a bar patron who claims a fight in Lind. Each lead is chased, each a dead end, their truth as fleeting as the prairie's fog. Brandon's friends, questioned again, describe a happy kid, no enemies, no debts, no reason to attract harm. His girlfriend, a nursing student in Marshall, tearfully confirms his plans to visit her the next day, his text full of love. Vyzecki is deputies combing truck stops, checks missing persons databases, hoping for a link, a serial offender, a pattern, but finds none. The prairie, vast and empty, is a perfect stage for a crime. Its fields a grave that hides bodies, its silence a shield for secrets. The calls, oh, shit, a moment of surprise, could mark a headlight, a voice, a figure in the dark. The Swansons, their faith shaken, cling to accident, their hearts rejecting the thought of a predator in their quiet world. The prairie, with its endless roads and hidden shadows, holds the answer, its silence a taunt that deepens the mystery. Part 10. The Family's Burden. By 2010, the search for Brandon Swanson is a wound that defines the Swansons, their lives a tapestry of grief and resolve. Brian and Annette, their farm supply store a hub for flyers, lead searches, their pickup a familiar sight on gravel roads. They walk fields, their boots caked with mud, their voices hoarse from calling Brandon's name, their eyes scanning for a glint of blue, his jacket, his phone, his life. Their home in Canby is a shrine. Brandon's room untouched, his toolbox open, his posters fading on the walls. The community, once a flood of volunteers, thins, their lives reclaimed by harvests and school. Sheriff Vyzecki, his badge await, updates the Swansons, his voice gruff but kind, his leads exhausted. The BCA, their agents now focused on newer cases, leave files and Marshall, their pages yellowing. Tips, a sneaker in a field, a phone in a ditch, spark hope, but each is a mirage, their truth dissolving under scrutiny. The Swansons, their faces etched with grief, speak at vigils, their words a plea to the prairie, come home, Brandon. They fund searches, their savings drained, their faith a candle that flickers but holds. Annette, her hands clutching a photo, dreams of Brandon, his laugh echoing in fields. Brian, his eyes hollow, walks the riverbank, his steps a prayer. The prairie, with its ditches and streams, is a labyrinth, its silence a riddle that breaks their hearts but not their resolve. The mystery, a shadow that grows with each year, is their burden, their love a light that burns through the dark. Part 11. Marshall in 2025, a town remembered. In 2025, Marshall, Minnesota, is a town changed, its population steady but its heart heavier, its fields still vast, but its streets lined with new strip malls and coffee shops. The Redwood River flows, its waters silver under a winter moon, but the memory of Brandon Swanson lingers, a ghost in its currents, a whisper in its bars. The Wooden Spoon Dairy, now a Starbucks, serves college kids who know the story as a cautionary tale, their phones a tether their parents never had. The fairgrounds, alive with 4-H kids, carry a somber note, their harvest festivals a nod to a boy who vanished. Brian and Annette Swanson, now in their 70s, live in Canby, their home a quiet shrine, of their lives of vigil. They maintain a website, findbrandonswanson.com, their flyers still on lampposts, Brandon's face, smiling, fading under rain and sun. Sheriff Jack, retired, died in 2019. His successor, Sheriff Lisa Holloway, keeps the case open, its files digitized, their scans a digital tombstone. Holloway, her deputies trained in cold case tactics, revisits the case, their eyes scanning drone footage, their hands steady. New technology, LiDAR, mapping fields in 3D, reveals no graves. DNA, on stray items, no matches. AI, analyzing the call, confirms no hidden voices, but the oh, shit, remains a riddle unsolved. A 2024 tip, a bone in a field, sparks hope, but it's deer, not human, its marrow a cruel tease. True crime podcasts like Vanished in the Night, draw fans, their mics in Marshall, their tips, a phone, a ditch, reigniting searches, but they fade. The prairie, its fields unchanged, holds Brandon, its silence a truth that waits, a secret whispered by corn and stars. Part 12. The Prairie's Enigma. Brandon Swanson's disappearance is more than a case. It's a requiem for a moment, a town, a family. It's mystery, a wound that bleeds through time. He's a ghost in the prairie, a whisper in the wind, a shadow that lingers in every headlight's beam, his last call a hymn that haunts the heartland. The fields, the river, the call, they're a paradox, a tapestry of sorrow woven with questions. What did he see? A ditch? A light? A stranger? The prairie, its vastness a canvas for theories, its silence a keeper of truths no search can unearth. Was it accident, his steps faltering in the dark, his body lost to the river's embrace, or the field's mud? Or foul play, a shadow in the night, his call silenced by a hand unseen? Or a flight, a choice to vanish, his life a shield against pressures unknown? Each theory is a stone, each search a prayer, their truth a shadow that dances away. For Brian and Annette, it's a wound that defines them, their love a light that burns through the years. For Marshall, it's a mirror, reflecting a town that learned to fear its own dark. The case challenges about faith, about loss, about the land's indifference. It asks us to walk, to listen, to search the fields for answers, to hear the call's final echo. Will the truth emerge? A bone in the mud, a phone in the corn, a confession in the wind, perhaps one day, the prairie will speak. Until then, Brandon's a ghost, his story a flame that burns in every heart that pauses, that wonders, that hears the night's whisper. He's not gone, he's the rustle in the corn, the flicker in the fog, the weight in every soul that calls his name. The Minnesota prairie lies silent, its fields a sea of black under a starless sky, its gravel roads whispering secrets no one can hear. Brandon's call echoes still, a ghost in the silence, a riddle that pulls us deeper into the night. In shadow of crime, it's we chase, these ghosts, breathing life into the lost, their stories a light against the dark. If his mystery grips you, hold it close, subscribe, to keep the prairie's shadows near, a spark in the cold. Let a light be your beacon, searching the fields for truth. Scribble your theories, your shivers, or the crimes you crave in the comments. Let's unravel the next night together. Ring the bell, and we'll walk. The gravel road's calling, as one, our steps have out of the vanished. Share this with you, those who dare brave the dark, to face the prairie's silence, to listen for its voice. Until then, the next shadow calls, keep your lights on, your heart strong, and your path clear.